Welcome back to Film Buff Bros, and in this episode we are going to review the Tron movies. The newest one is not out, the third one's not out yet. We're not going to talk about any of the CGI animated ones. We're just going to talk about the first one and Legacy. I thought that I was going to choose Legacy as my favorite because I watched it in theaters when it came out on shrooms and enjoyed it quite a bit, I remember. And then I never saw it again until we decided to review the movies here. And I think I like the first one better. The second one, the set design they're using when they're in like the video game or whatever, the computer system, they're using lots of physical pieces of set. Lots of black, like vinyl, shiny stuff, and maybe like glass or whatever. Which normally I'd rather have that than CGI. But I thought that the original old school CGI was, I don't know, it was just, they just, go full, this is computer. The only thing that doesn't look, like computer is like the suits that they're wearing and then their faces. But I thought it was a more compelling story. I like the visuals actually better. I think they still kind of hold like the test of time because they're not mixing like physical set designs with the CGI, because that's tough to try to meld together, right? I just thought it was better paced. Seems like the stakes were more high, and it seems like Legacy was just trying to springboard off of I think that movie would have bombed terribly if it didn't bomb terribly. It would have if it hadn't been for the first Tron movie. Like if Legacy was just a movie on its own, I think it would have done horrible. If I'm not sure how it did in the box office, but I think the new one, I'm not sure what it's called. I think that which they did like touch on in the first one as well, like the computer, the master control computer or something, starts off as a chess thing that what's his face, Jeff Bridges designs, and then it hooks up with like one of like the executive guys who steals Jeff Bridges' work, and then Flynn, and then then the master control computer wants to take over the world, and he's like, I'm gonna hack like the Pentagon and this. So I think that the new movie, given like whereas AI is going right now, I think that's why that movie is coming out. And like Avengers: The Age of Ultron with James Spader as the evil AI guy, I think that I think it was conveyed way more, just a better story, way more like believably and like subtle, and like the acting I think is so much better back then than it is now, even for a kids movie. It's definitely like I think the first one kind of feels more like a kid movie than the newer one. May even have something to do with the scoring, but yeah, I don't know. I think acting, people have less interactions with each other nowadays because of social media, internet, computers, and whatnot. So they're not have as much face-to-face interactions, especially theater kids. They're kind of nerdy or whatever, and like a lot of these people who are trained actors are just they're like the stage and like the set is like pretty much the extent. No, I mean. The extent of their socializing other than when they go out and be fake to other people. And I think that, trying to be that celebrity or whatever, and you'd think that they would have lots of practice in being fake, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the SSRIs and a combination with the social media and stuff and lack of confidence. People, seeing like celebrities on IG and whatnot, and they're like, like there's so many people out there who are better than me, so then they lack like confidence in their day-to-day beings. I remember growing up in suburbia, the guys who were able to like tell stories was like those were the popular people who could tell the same story like over and over to people, like to new people or whatever, right? New people that they meet. But having that ability to be confident and tell a compelling, well-paced story and captivating people's attention is it's like a lost art. There is still people out there like that, but I mean, I think that, you know, people flex psychologically in a more like direct way. Like, I have more than you. I have bigger muscles. I have more. I've had a higher body count or whatever, you know. It's just like, it's just a direct, I'm better than you. These are like the numbers of why I'm better than you. My chain's bigger, you know, like my muscles are bigger, right? So it's less about like the finesse of social interactions, and I think that is translated into like acting these days. I know I keep going on these tangents that are unrelated, but I think that is why
that's related. Yeah,
the acting is not as good as what it used to be.
Yeah, no, I walked into both of these totally blind, never seen the one from '82 or the new one. No idea what it was about. Didn't even read the plot synopsis, and like was pleasantly surprised watching that '82 one. I was like, wow, these graphics are like terribly dated, but like, you know, it's fun. I'm gonna watch it. So I like the setup as we get the information revealed about how he got his stuff stolen by this evil guy. Set design was pretty good. Costumes, and I think it's got like, it reminded me of like The Matrix. First of all, I'm watching, and then 1984, and then like Running Man, and then like 2001: Space Odyssey. Like all these things. And it was actually what it was 2 years before, or no, the same year as Blade Runner actually. So, you know, you compare those back to back, quite different, but very experimental. I think I respect the fact that you know, they were doing that in '82 as a 10-year-old kid. To see that film in '82 would have been mind blowing. But it just became like underwhelming and predictable at some point, probably 45 minutes into it. Okay, it's going to be like these fights, sort of like Running Man, just battles. And, you know, the guy will save the girl, they'll re-get the program going and blah, blah, blah. So I just wasn't that invested in the characters either. And I think Jeff Bridges is a good actor, but I think it's worth watching once, even though it is dated. But yeah, I think the second one was... again, just like The Matrix had done it like fucking better, like 6 years earlier. So it's just 10 years earlier. It's just again, just underwhelming, and just I didn't really care about the main character, the son. I didn't think he was a very good actor. Jeff Bridges playing two characters, just like it was a cool villain, that Clue villain, but like I don't know, they didn't get deep enough into a lot of stuff. They're trying to do too many plot things going on. So the second one, I would say I'm not a fan of it, but good graphics for 2010, good visual effects. But yeah, I'm probably never gonna watch the Tron movies again. It's not my cup of tea. But I did think it on an existential, philosophical level, like kind of what you're talking about, a social commentary that it does that really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes you think.
Yeah, no, I think that the first one would be good for like young kids, like probably under, like between the ages of like, I don't know, 5 and 8 or something like that, you know, like, you know, then maybe they'd be able to stomach it, you know, if they haven't had a lot of exposure to like modern CGI and video games.
Well, I think going off the point you were trying to make earlier, I don't know if this is the point you're trying to make, but like there's two things, like you said, there's the comparison and competition with people, which makes it so you can't tell a story, a monologue. You can't even have a monologue maybe in a movie anymore because the attention span is so low. So you have the attention spans are low, plus this false need to compare yourself to these fake social media people makes for a landscape of film and storytelling that's having to change and adapt and find ways to balance the education with the entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm not sure which video is going to come out first, but like, yeah, Wes Anderson, that's why I can respect like what he's doing, because he's definitely making movies for like, I'd say, yeah, like Gen X and like millennial, like scenesters and stuff. You know, he probably has like probably knows what his target audience is. And it's, you know, someone like him. I think he's probably like in his early 50s, late 40s or something.
Yeah, born into a very wealthy family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. But hey, to each their own.
That's right. That's our episode for this week. Tune in next week for another episode. And please click down below to like and subscribe. And also, please leave a comment in the comment section to let us know what kind of movies you want us to review next.
Appreciate you. Thank you.